Hey, you there. Yes, I'm talking to you. Have you ever wanted to be a game developer? No? What do you mean, no? No, it doesn't require a college degree. What do you still mean, no? I think you mean yes. No? Too bad. I'm taking that as a yes. Story. Game Dev Tycoon transports you 35 years into the past so you can build your dream business. No, I'm not joking. You teleport back in time so you can build your dream game development studio. After you build a game that scores you a 10 out of 10, you have the option to move into an office. You also have parodies of game companies and game consoles. Gameplay. I hope you like clicking, because that's what you'll be doing for the entirety of the game. You'll be clicking on workers to send them on vacation, you'll be clicking on things to find out information, and you'll be clicking on sliders and dragging them to adjust details for your game. When you're not clicking, you'll be reading. There is also mod support, so if some people get behind this, I'm sure there'll be some really awesome mods created. Mechanics. The reason someone would buy Game Dev Tycoon is the idea of running a game company, which is a unique concept, which is where the game succeeds and fails. You can create your own game engine, hire employees, and create your own game console. You can participate in G3, which is games. When you create a game, you choose the amount of time spent on features such as the sound, the engine, the gameplay, the world design, and some other aspects. You can research features to put into your custom game engine, and as you create your game, points are put into design and technology along with bugs, which when the game is done, you can remove the bugs. It's interesting to publish a game under a developer. You will sell a lot more games, and it's a quick way to get in fans to support your games. Along with that, you can do contract work to gain quick money, but money really isn't that hard to get. The employees you hire and yourself have 4 different categories: design, technology, speed, and research. Everyone has points in these categories, and to increase the amount you will need to train your workers. When you create a game, you'll have game features level up, such as sound, graphics, world design, your workers, and yourself. Later on, after the right training, you can build 2 add-ons to the company which will allow for more features within the game. Whenever you release a game, it will get a very basic review, which you can then proceed to do an analysis so you can gain more information with hints such as, this is a good combination, or you should focus more on graphics for RPGs, but this is where I get to the letdowns of the game. They have a good range of mechanics, however these mechanics are basic. When you are allocating time for different parts of the game and you choose to make a racing game, for example, what is world design? Is it the tracks? Because stage 2 has level design. So what is world design? Is it an immersive world? Or is it the design for the world? And if so, will your game suffer because you have a really good level design but low world design? On the wiki there is this quote: "Good quality game does not mean good reviews. In this game you compete exclusively against your own previous high score. Therefore, in order to get a good review score, you need to perform slightly better than your previous high score." End quote. Not once are you competing against other games. Even if there was a randomly generated game or couple of games to compete against in sales, it would add that bit more polish to the game. So except for G3, there are no companies that exist. Your game will never compete against any other game. You would never have to worry about a first-person shooter going head-to-head with another first-person shooter. If you keep making games with the same genre but change the topic and release games constantly, no one has a problem with it. Only if you release constant sequels of the same game, or games one after another of the exact same topic and genre. Overall opinion. The game is only $10 and an average run through is about 4 to 6 hours. You'll get a score which you can then try to beat. Also, your hints can carry over, making the next run through a lot easier. Also, from all accounts, it shares some things in common with Game Dev Story on iOS and Android. Game Dev Tycoon has a few problems, which one of them being lots of the mechanics are very basic. The question I've been asking myself the entire review is the game good, or does it just seem good because of the concept, which has very few games like this? The concepts are basic, but what I keep looking for in a game is fun. The key point here being fun. With a world full of bland first-person shooters and repetitive action games, what defines a game isn't whether or not it's got great graphics, or its music is outstanding, or the voice acting. Is the game fun? Which, despite the game having some problems and mechanics that are very basic, it's fun, and that's all I ask for in a game. If you buy a game and have fun, then the game has done something right. Here's the problem though. There isn't a lot of complexity to the game, however the game is only $10, and it's got an interesting theme. That's the problem though. Is the game only good because of its theme, or is it good on its own merits? If the theme wasn't about making video games, would I be giving the game the score I am going to give it? I am going to give Game Dev Tycoon a 7.25 with an asterisk. The reason I'm giving it a 7.25 with an asterisk is because they've listened and they've actually improved upon some of the mechanics to make the game better. If it didn't have those improvements with the mechanics, I'd be giving it a lower score, but I'm giving it this score because they have listened. One important note to mention, if you don't want to play through a game multiple times with everything being pretty much identical, then stay away from this game. If you want to try and beat your previous high score and don't mind playing through the game again to try and get higher reviewed games, then this is a game you will enjoy. With more depth, features, mechanics, and more ways to look at your game development history, if this game does get a sequel, I can see it becoming an excellent game.